Hi, my name is William Maldonado, and I am a sophomore here at Temple University with a double major in finance and accounting. And these are my responses to the Odyssey Capital Advisors interview questions for the first round. The first question is, what first got you interested in the markets of investing, and how has that interest shaped the way you think today? What first got me into the markets and investing overall was just the want to understand how businesses run and how they overall affect the economy and the markets, and how that's really changed and shaped the way I think would be I now look around and I understand why businesses do certain things, where they spend their money in marketing, and kind of how to understand what trends people or what trends a company may be trying to portray, or maybe be trying to influence with their decisions, and see how actual consumers actually kind of go along with those trends and actually make those trends possible. So kind of seeing how businesses and everyday life kind of correlate with each other. Um, as far as a company trend or theme I followed would be a uh, a trend. The trend would be the implementation of central bank digital currencies, and that is just because with central bank digital currencies becoming more prevalent in the world, it's definitely interesting because I feel as though it's a good representation of something that was seen as unsafe or maybe a risky investment now becoming something very normalized and very implemented into our everyday life and into the markets. And that's overall what's really kept my attention on it. Just seeing that with over 95% of uh, countries even considering central bank digital currencies, seeing that many countries consider it alone is just something that I find really interesting, and is definitely why I keep my eye on that trend. The third question is, if you had to explain your approach to deciding whether something is a good investment, how would you describe it? Personally, I would first look at the company's position amongst its peers in the industry. And with that, I would see how it stacks up and kind of where it falls amongst the other companies in the industry. Secondly, I would look at to see if that company has any catalysts which are relevant to the current market, and any catalysts that can actually provide some growth to the company outside of normal operations. And then lastly, I would see how susceptible the company is to macroeconomic news. With the constant ever-changing news today, I'm getting a really good view of how macroeconomic news can affect the markets and individual companies very, very severely. So seeing that and kind of seeing how that company may stack up or may react, I should say, to macroeconomic news is definitely a way I would consider, or a way I would look at a company in order to determine if it's a good investment. So overall, just a combination of the position of the company as far as amongst its peers, any catalyst the company may have, and how susceptible they are to macroeconomic news. A combination of those three would be what would help me determine if a company is a good investment. Uh, Something outside of school, work, or investing that I've gone down a rabbit hole recently would be AI. With AI becoming so prevalent in our everyday life, I really find it fascinating and interesting, and something that I feel like is necessary for everyone to learn, or kind of take some time to gain some knowledge in. And some examples of that would be, kind of learning how AIs are made from the beginning, and how they incorporate things such as neural networks and how they try to mimic the human brain, all the way to the different type of AI models, such as large language models, and diffusion models as well. So just learning about the different models and what they do, and kind of how that we will start using them in our everyday life, and how they will affect the market. So overall, just learning about AI, learning about how it's made, learning about the different types of AI is definitely something that I've been going down a rabbit hole down recently. And what I took away from it overall is just how it's gonna affect the workplace. How knowing AI is definitely gonna be something that every professional needs to know. And if you don't know, you're gonna get left behind. So kind of just taking the time to learn it is something that I found very important. That's kind of what I took away from it, that I'm gonna need these skills to enter the workplace and be a good professional. Next question would be, where do I see myself in 5 years? So in 5 years, I see myself breaking into a buy side role, and by a buy side role, I mean preferably hedge fund or a pension fund. I enjoy investing quite a bit, but prior to that, I would be gain some time in investment banking leading up to that, and trying to use my time in investment banking to learn as much as I can. So overall, just throughout those 5 years, I would see myself working through investment banking, and then in 5 years, hopefully pivot to a hedge fund, pension fund, buy side role overall. And then outside of being a professional, I would also try to, in 5 years, I would be try to help students break into the industry, and that may be investment banking or buy side roles, helping them break into competitive industries coming from a non-target such as Temple. I feel like it's very important to give back to the students and kind of help them in that way. So over on 5 years, I see myself working in a buy side role and helping as many students as I can, to sum that up. What as far as what I hope to gain out of the internship, I hope to gain a more holistic view of investing and how to analyze an investment like a true professional, and kind of determine what it truly takes for a company to be a good investment outside of what I already know, and kind of hear from more tenured professionals as well. Having the Going off that, having the ability to learn from tenured professionals, gain their knowledge, see the way they analyze economic trends, the way they analyze, excuse me, how they view the markets, and how they can see trends occurring in front of them, how they use certain news articles, or how they use limited information to kind of determine what a good or bad investment might be, and kind of just learn how to get a more holistic view of the market overall. So overall, what I truly hope to gain from the internship would just be the ability to learn how to invest correctly, how to invest smartly, and overall just how to determine what are good and bad investments. Yeah, and that's my responses to the internship first round interview. Thank you.